This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am delighted to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this quick answer episode, I'm going to be explaining how we do bass note runs between the chords G, C, and D. So this is a super fun thing to do. So that sort of thing. This fits into what some refer to as flat picking, a style that's used in bluegrass and country and folk, so it's super fun. Now we're going to be using a strumming pattern, bass, down up, alternate bass, down up, and I just demonstrated it on a couple chords there. If you need help with that strumming pattern or inserting bass notes into the strumming patterns or the alternate bass notes, those steps sort of precede what we're doing in this video. So you'd want to check out my quick answer videos on inserting bass notes into the strumming pattern, and then the quick answer video on inserting alternating bass notes into the strumming patterns. So I've got that written up here on the board where we go bass, down, up, and then have an alternate bass note pluck, down, up. You could also just do bass down, alternate bass down. And we build on that now by inserting these bass note runs. The trick to the bass note runs is knowing the scale that goes with the key and how to find the notes above and below the root note of the chord. So for a G, and we are in the key of G with this particular progression. I have this progression here, G, C, G, D, G, C, D, G, which allows us to work on going between G and C, or back from C to G, so back and forth between those two, and back and forth between G and D. And then there's even a little practice with between C and D, which is a little less common, but fun to take a look at as well. So we're in the key of G. The key of G major has one sharp, it's an F sharp. So we can play a G major scale. It needs that F sharp. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. That G starts on that low 6th string. Then we go to the open 5th string, 2nd fret on that 5th string, 3rd fret on that 5th string, open D string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 4th fret, just played F natural, but we need F sharp for this, 4th fret on that 4th string, and the open G. I could also go a little bit lower, so I've got the G on the 6th string, down to F sharp, and then the open E. Then, as we're approaching a chord, it's all about the chord that we're going to. We can approach it from the 2 steps that happen before that one, so lower than that one, or the 2 steps that happen above it. So for example, going G to C, we are going to C, so we're going to be inserting this into our strumming pattern. It replaces the alternate bass and the down up, so it's on beats 3 and 4, so we have 2. We need 2, and then we would hit that next chord with the bass note, which is the root. So in going to C, the 2 notes before it are B and A, so we're going to come at C from A, B, C, so the open 5th string, 2nd fret on the 5th string to the C. So if I was going there from G, I'd have my bass down up, open to C. It's just that easy. G, A, B, C, that's the notes I'm going after. So I got G, C. Now technically I could come at the C chord from what's higher, so I have C and then I have D and E. So I could approach C from E, D, C. I could come just down that scale. So when going from G to C, I could approach that C chord from that higher option. It's a little less common, but it could be done. So G, C. That's an option as well, though a little less common going from G to C that way. Usually, we take the bigger chord, meaning it's got more notes, the G chord. We're sitting on that 6th string, so a lower root. A lower root usually goes to the, we usually walk walk up to a higher root instead of skipping and walking down to it, but we can do it. So in going from C to G, so approaching the G chord in the key of G here, then we can come higher to lower because we're going from a higher root to a lower root, a higher sounding root. We can just basically say, where's my G chord? What are the two notes that are above it, A and B, so I can come down B, A, G. So C, B, A, G. It's as simple as that. C, B, A, G. So C, B, A, G. I could, of course, also approach the G chord from below. So E, F sharp, G. So C, E, F sharp, G. And that one works as well, though probably less commonly chose when going from C to G. But it's there. So let's go back and forth between C and G. We'll give each chord 2 measures. That gives enough time to have G up to C. And then go back to G. Up to C. 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 Just like so. Okay, so if we go from G to D, we already know how to approach G. We can do it from the B, A, G, or E, F sharp, G. It doesn't change even when we're going there from D. We got to learn how to approach D though. So D is a little tricky because we could, if we had a 7-string guitar, go F sharp, E, D, and go lower. It doesn't sound as good to do that and then jump to a higher D. It sounds a little bit funny, but we can approach that D from the higher F sharp, E, D, right there on the 4th string. So 4th fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, 4th string, open. So I can go from the G, 4 to open. And you say, well, Kristen, you've said that it doesn't sound as good to approach higher when going to a root that's higher. So skipping over and coming down, descending. When you got your lower root, it can be nice to go up. It's true, but in this case, because we don't have an option in going lower, we do it this way. We can skip and it works out okay. It sounds just fine. Going back to G, we've got our B, A, G, or E, F sharp, G. So we can do it either way. Now, in approaching D, we have the F sharp, E, D option. We also could come from below, and in that case, we would need to backtrack. So we have D goes down in the scale to C and B. So we could have a B, C, D. So I could have G, B, C, D. So you have G, B, C, D. That's another way to approach it, and that's a way to approach it from the lower end coming up higher, which is an option. So the B's at the 2nd fret, 5th string, C's at the 3rd fret, 5th string, and then up to that D. In this key, sometimes we might have a D7. It works either way. So I'd have G, up to D, back to G, up to D, back to G. Or I could use the other option. Helps to have the right pitch. 4 to open. I can use either one. All sorts of options. So that's how we go from G to D, D to G. Going C to D or D to C works the same. We use the same ones. So I could go from C to D using that C, back down, B, C. So I could come up with that 2, 3 open. C, B, C, D, C, B, C, D. Or I can come from the higher C. So I have either option. In that particular case, I would probably jump to the B, C, D, but you never know. Going to C, it's the same. If we wanted to go from D to C, I can grab that 2 open, so E, D, C, or A, B, C. Either way. Okay, I'm going to play through this progression and just sort of be improvisatory, meaning I don't know yet until I'm playing it which option I'll choose, and that's sort of the fun of it, but you can play right along and choose whichever one you want. I want to demonstrate it here. 2 measures per chord. So I got 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, got the G. Super fun. I love throwing this sort of thing into certain music, certain songs that we play. It has a driving rhythm. It just feels so good. Hope that helps. If you need help with how to do this with other chords, you can check out my quick answer video on going between other chords. There's different ones out there. Have fun playing the guitar. We'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.